Alright y'all, so earlier today when I was scrolling TikTok, I saw this video from this random news source. Boy who injected himself with crushed butterfly for online challenge suffered slow. And this automatically made me mad because there has never ever been a trend on TikTok or social media in general that has included injecting a crushed butterfly into yourself. This news source is just straight up lying about that. After seeing this, I knew I had to make a video on this because this is something that has been going on for years, and honestly it's actually getting ridiculous. The news keeps straight up lying about TikTok challenges, acting like these so-called trends are responsible for kids doing dumbass things and getting hurt or worse. Every couple of months, some tragic accident happens with one kid doing something stupid, and instead of investigating the real backstory to why the kid did it, the news just automatically blames TikTok for it. And they just make up a fake challenge to just bring in more clicks to their failing news service. And I'm not even exaggerating, they're deadass just inventing challenges and trying to convince everyone that kids are because they saw it on their For You page. This isn't new, but in the past couple of years, it's just getting completely out of hand. If you search up any of the trends the news talks about that's causing death in kids and teens, you'll find that the only piece of content surrounding the challenges are either some video with less than 50 views, or you'll just straight up find 0 videos about it because it just simply doesn't exist. In this video, I'm going to be diving into some of this BS that they're talking about. Alright, so first I'm going to talk about the butterfly thing from earlier. So this 14-year-old kid named Davy Mrera, who lived in Vitoria de Conquista, thought it would be a good idea to inject a dead butterfly mixed with water into his leg. After doing this, he started vomiting and limping, which he had to obviously go to the hospital, where he ended up unfortunately passing after a quote-unquote a week of unbearable pain. I truly don't know where he got the idea to get this from. I guess he was trying to become an evil version of Spider-Man or some shit. But the way that the news and media reacted to this was just so idiotic. They immediately put the blame on it being an internet challenge, even though I'm willing to bet that there's genuinely 0 videos even talking about injecting a dead butterfly into the human body. And I know I'm not the only one who feels like this, because in the comments of the TikToks that I saw accusing this of being some sort of challenge, people were saying stuff like, stop blaming online challenges for mental challenges, and that is not an online challenge. And this guy said, bro must be watching Snapchat Spotlight because nobody is doing this. And that actually made me laugh a little bit when I saw it earlier. And this is just a recent time where the news has lied like this. Another time occurred about a year ago with the quote-unquote chroming challenge. That just sounds stupid as hell. I can guarantee nobody watching this knows what that is. Here's the backstory of the chroming challenge. So the story went viral after an 11-year-old boy passed away from inhaling toxic chemicals at a sleepover. So basically what they said chroming was, is just inhaling random products like paint, Sharpies, and nail polish, and just anything that can be inhaled. And for some reason, almost every single media outlet was just bashing TikTok and other social medias for having this chroming thing be a trend, when in reality it just simply was not a trend at all. This case was a big example of what I'm talking about in this video, because it seemed like quite literally every single news source was screaming at TikTok for this. But if you searched up hashtag chroming on TikTok when the incident took place, there were seriously less than 400 views in total for it. And because of the amount of news sources reporting this, there were so many TikTok users that were just stepping in and being like, y'all are fucking liars.
I hate little shit like this, bro. Ain't nobody heard of no chroming TikTok challenge.
It's honestly crazy how news stations and sources can just lie this blatantly and just get away with it. I actually experienced and felt the impact of this next one I'm about to talk about. So in around October 2021, the Slap a Teacher challenge became a fake trend which news sources said that people on TikTok were participating in. And according to many news outlets, this new viral challenge on TikTok encouraged students to go up to their teachers and slap them on their face or slap them on the back. I don't know what the hell that came from, bro. Some outlets were even reporting that teachers were being assaulted in classrooms as a result of this challenge, and this led to minor panic in schools and parents across the US. And when I went to school during this happening, my mom actually got an email from my school about how this was supposedly going on, but after looking into it, there was 0 evidence of this challenge ever taking off or just even being a thing on TikTok. And the few incidents of teacher slaps that the media was using were just either just old ass videos or just completely unrelated to any of the viral trend. Even TikTok themselves responded to this by stating how they couldn't find any trending content related to this slap challenge. And so many TikTok users also talked about how this was all made up. It really feels like news stations just do this for attention. Another time is the NyQuil chicken challenge. This one actually originated from a joke, which news sources and even the FDA somehow turned it into a challenge that people were doing, and they created a huge fuss about it. A few years ago, 2016, someone made a Twitter post about cooking chicken in NyQuil, which was obviously a joke. But somehow news stations latched onto it and started warning parents that kids were actually out here making and eating NyQuil chicken. And once again, if you searched for this challenge on TikTok or social media at the time, you wouldn't find anyone seriously doing it. It was never a trend, it was just a stupid joke that the media expanded into an actual trend. And all of that is just basically the tip of the iceberg. I actually found this entire lying TikTok article that like lists challenges that kids were doing that actually just never existed. For example, we have the blackout challenge, which I mean, I've actually seen before, but they're saying it like started on TikTok when it's actually been a thing for decades. Like I can guarantee you, if you ask your mom or your parents right now, it was a thing when they were like kids too. And then next up we have the Benadryl challenge, which is just another overblown story, like where the media acted like TikTok was encouraging kids to on allergy medicine, which that one's just a lie. And then there were things like the Orbeez challenge and the Kia challenge, but I'm not gonna lie, there were like real incidents of little kids just doing dumb stuff, but those were not challenges at all. It was just kids doing dumb stuff, and the media just like turned it into some sort of trend we were doing. Like, for example, I'm pretty sure some like YouTube family channels like put a bunch of Orbeez in the back of a truck and were riding in it, and like one kid got hurt. And then now the news said that that was like a viral trend one, which I don't think the normal person can afford to put like 1,000,000 Orbeez in the back of a truck to ride around in. But here's what I don't think the news realizes. When all of these news sources start creating these fake TikTok challenges, they actually end up spreading the idea to people. There were many cases where these trends were basically non-existent until the media brought attention to them. And that's when people started to just mimic them. Just think about it. Imagine you're a kid who's never even considered doing something reckless, but then you turn on the TV and the news is basically just giving you a step-by-step tutorial on how to do it. You already know some people are going to see that and think, well, now I gotta try it. This is exactly what happened with the Tide Pod challenge years ago, which I'm pretty sure everyone knows about that. Hardly anybody was actually eating Tide Pods until the media freaked out about it and made it seem like every teenager in the world was doing it, which actually led to more people doing it because of that. At the end of the day though, there have been some really stupid and dangerous challenges that have evolved from social media, but that has been a thing ever since social media was invented. It's in no way TikTok's fault, and for some reason TikTok is seeming to be like the biggest victim of this fake trend lie, which the root cause of this definitely lies in the tensions within the country that owns TikTok and other countries around the world, especially since it's like getting banned right now in the US. I could probably make another video about this same topic in like 6 months due to how much the news lies about this all, but that's if TikTok's even a thing in like 6 months. Hopefully this video doesn't get taken down by these corrupt news stations, but what do y'all think of this?